Hi, this is Lexi
and Sid
of Hess Van Schlemmer Metalworks and Art, home of the Schlemmer Metal Wolves. We are a small but furious family-run welding, fabrication, and metalworks shop with CNC capabilities and now full-scale powder coating operation. We bring unique, affordable quality art to life within the realm of practicality. Whether it's signs, sculptures, railings, shelves, furniture, or even just powder coat for your rims or your patio set, give us a look, check us out on Facebook or Instagram, or call 618-670-5724. We are Hess Van Schlemmer Metalworks. That was terrible.
We tried.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about my friends over at Naked Vine, located at 1624 Clarkson Road in Chesterfield, Missouri. Hey, swing by and visit them anytime, Tuesday through Saturday. This week, great live music from kicking off Jerry Week. Wednesday, August 1st, Alligator Wine. Playing all your favorite Grateful Dead tunes from 6 to 9 over there. Thursday, August 2nd, Phil and Carson from the Scandaleros. Friday, August 3rd, The Big Idea. And Saturday, August 4th, Nick Detmeyer and the Sawdusters. And I will be back out at Naked Vine on August 14th with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase, including Anna Shanoff, Matt Wynn, and Bobby Stevens. So keep an eye out for that show coming up soon. But all these events and more can be found at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And again, come on out for a cold drink. They got all kinds of great whiskeys, wines, and cold beers, and live music happening. Everything at nakedvine.net. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the show.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
We are the Broken Kingdom, and you are listening to
Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Actually in Collinsville, Illinois today. Took a little trip across the river to hang out with the guys in the Broken Kingdom. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi. Hey, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You guys want to properly introduce yourselves for everybody listening?
Yeah, I'm vocals and rhythm guitar, Jimmy Peck.
My name is Cody Walker. I play drums.
I'm Seth Green. I play bass.
Eric Footen, lead guitar.
Yeah, man, this is exciting because I love I love getting to discover new music all the time in our town, and that's kind of the fun thing about doing this show is it it just keeps the wheels turning all the time, and I guess I met you guys. I guess Jimmy and Seth, at least I met when Cody's I've known for quite a while now. But I met you guys down at Pops a little while back.
Yeah, it was back over the winter time. I remember I was like super sick that night, and like I'm glad that Seth had the fortitude to make some conversation. He's normally the quiet one in the band, and he said that. He explained to me who you were, and I think I had a couple demos or something. I wasn't even gonna go that night because I was so sick, and I was like, "Nah, I gotta go and do this." So it all worked out, man.
I believe it was March, and I think it was at Ink Spot block party or Ink Spot housewarming party. It was they were doing down there, which was a great night, great party. Sky burnt white, and
those guys were amazing.
Yeah,
they were.
Out amongst the masses and the many-colored death and a lot of good rock and roll down there. But yeah, you guys introduced yourselves and gave me a copy of the demo to take home, and I cranked it up on my ride, and I was like, man, this sounds good. I kind of told you guys a little bit off mic, but sometimes it's fun. It's like you never know what you're going to get. You know, you pop it in, and it's like, oh, this could be junk or it could be something really great, and that's so it's always a nice surprise when it's something really great and you're like, wow, this is cool. So
he's being nice.
So,
actually, you got the crappy version of
that. Was a first mix.
Yeah.
But you could tell. I mean, even that, like you can still hear like the roots of it all, and you can tell that I can, as a music fan, you can still appreciate the ideas there and stuff and things like
Sound
even
quality.
Song
Song quality.
Song quality, yeah.
Sound quality may be crap, but the
Yeah, we were talking
But-
about that earlier.
Yeah, they have to be good songs.
But but you do have the I guess more the new mix is up online and everything, so people can hear those versions and stuff now that we have out there the demo.
Yep.
But like I said, I don't, this is our first time really getting to hang and talk. We talked a little bit that night, but again, it was like a loud rock show, so it wasn't really couldn't talk a whole lot. So, but tell me a little bit more about the Broken Kingdom. I guess this is a fairly new project, right? Like I guess.
Cody and I started jamming. I guess it's been about a year and a half.
Well, the first time.
Well, the first time was like.
That's how this started. That's what 4. That was before IO started.
Yeah, that was in like.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's
That's when
5
we
or 6
met.
years ago. Yeah, and like we were playing like super heavy stuff, and we only jammed a couple times, and like I just had a lot going on in my life at that time, and like I honestly had a pretty bad drinking problem at that time, and like I just didn't have the time to commit to it that I felt that it deserved, and so like we parted ways for a while. He's been doing the IO thing for years, inner outlines, and over the course of that 5-6 years, whatever, at the tail end of it, I decided I got clean and sober again, and I started writing all these songs just on an acoustic guitar, and after I think I had like 7 or 8 of them, and I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I know you're really busy with inner outlines, but what would you think about doing a side project? And so, a little bit of time lapsed in between then, and he said he was interested, and after a little while we finally got together and started working on all this stuff, and then Seth came into the picture a little while down the road. Eric and I have actually been best friends since we were like 16 years old, back on the East Coast in Maryland and West Virginia. And I took a trip back home. It was last summer after I had hip replacement surgery, and while I was off work from it, I took a trip back home, and Eric was kind of going through a weird point in his life and kind of needed some change of scenery, and I was like, well, hey man, like I got this band that I'm working on and getting going, and I played him a couple songs for it, and he was like, you know what man, like I'm gonna come out there. So it'll take me a minute to get everything together to come out there, but I'm going to. And so he finally did. I think it was November or October.
The end of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of November he got out here, and it's all just been preparing and getting everything the way that we wanted it to sound, and we finally got to that point where we were comfortable with the way everything was sounding, and it was like, okay, now we just need to start getting out and playing in front of people. And, so yeah.
We just had your first show, right? Was that like
that
a couple weeks back or a month
About a
ago?
month ago.
Yeah.
We've got 2 under our belt now.
We just had
Yeah.
a second show last week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I really I was bummed I couldn't make it out to the first one. I thought that would have been cool to watch the debut and everything, watch it all, where it all started and things, but wasn't able to make it out that night. But you do have a bunch of big shows coming up, and the calendar's filling up, so it's nice to see that you guys definitely made a splash. I mean, people are taking notice of what you're doing, so already, so that's exciting. So you started writing these originals just on the guitar, like when you're, and then I guess you present them to the band, and everybody just kind of builds them up from there.
There for a while it was just like I would write all this stuff on my own on an acoustic, and then I'd bring it to practice and I'd show Cody what I had, and we'd just start, he'd write his parts, and now things work a little bit different now that Eric's here and a part of it. Since he's been out here, I've wrote maybe like 3 or 4 songs since he's been out here. This most recent one is the first one that he was actually a part of the writing process for. He's kind of like the arrangement guy. Like, I'm the raw, unrefined part of it, and he's the one that comes in behind and it's like, okay, this would probably sound a little bit better if we, change this up a little bit or shorten this part, and kind of puts the polish on things. So.
Yeah.
Me and Seth just do what we're told.
It does, but it's
And not well either.
Yeah. Do what you just did, but the way you did it before.
I like what you're doing there, but do the exact opposite.
Just do it better.
Yeah, Seth always ends up being
The butt of the jokes.
the butt of the jokes. I guess I'm mainly to blame for that one. I've always been hard on our bass players.
I don't think the
reason.
light in your amp should be on.
Oh man.
I'll stop. We'll stop in the middle of a song at rehearsal, and I'll be like, "Hold on, something's wrong. Like, I can hear your bass. There's oh, the blue light's on, man. That's the problem. That's not supposed to be on."
Man, being bass player is rough.
There's a great video of from the Hard Times. It's like an unappreciated bass player meeting, like set up like kind of like a AA meeting kind of thing. They're all in a circle.
Oh yeah, Bass Players Anonymous.
Yeah.
I said that. Yeah.
And
I know what we'll do, guys. We'll make an all bass band.
yeah,
It's like nobody wants that.
there's so many good jokes in there. But like that's there's what he says one, like he was like talking about taking a girl out on a date, and he's like, yeah, and then I pulled out my bass and I played for about 15 minutes, and I looked up and she was gone, and I was like, I don't know.
What do you call a girl on a bass player's arm? A tattoo. Seth showed me this bass video. It was Mark Hoppus from Blink hosting like this like bass player like speaking event or whatever, and he's like showing a picture like, we like us as bass players, like we shouldn't take it anymore. Here's what we need to do, and then he shows a picture of him like jumping off Travis Barker's drum riser, like, check this guy out. He's back there jamming with the drummer, having fun, and then like the whole thing gets over. He's like, I need to call Travis. Like, we don't talk to you as much.
Yeah, that was another good one. That's it is funny though, like how that the bass players become the joke in the band sometimes.
Most unappreciated instrument.
Right.
At least I haven't lit any of your facial hair on fire.
Yeah, that's why I usually keep a close shave. I'm afraid that's gonna happen.
Eric and I, we grew up playing in bands together, and one of our bass players, I inadvertently lit his goatee on fire.
Oops.
I swear, nobody believes me, but like it really was an accident. But, yeah.
Those kind of things happen, man.
I mean, rock and roll, man.
You guys all bring out all that pyro. Well, like I said, you do have some big shows coming up, and you guys are heading back over to Fubar. I guess, well, first, August 8th, Jimmy's going to do a little solo acoustic show over there at Fubar, open up a show over there. So you can catch him there. But August 13th, you guys will be back at Fubar, full band.
16th.
Or 16th, sorry.
It's on a Thursday.
Yeah, 16th. Opening for Boy Hits Car, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this show, man.
We're all excited for it.
Did you guys listen to them a lot?
I won't lie, like I wasn't like super into them, but like I knew who they were. I remember I used to ride BMX, and I would order all my bike parts from a company called Dan's Competition, and they used to send out like sampler CDs if you would buy so much worth of merchandise. And I got a sampler CD that had a couple of their songs on it. So I do remember them from back in the day. When Jason Thompson, the promoter for the show, when we did our first show afterwards, I went up and talked to him, and he was like, hey man, look, I got a show coming up that I think you guys would really fit on. And he's like, have you ever heard of Boy Hits Car? And I'm like, why does that sound so familiar? And he's like, well, they're doing a 15-year anniversary tour, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh, yeah, they're old school. And he's like, yeah. And I kind of felt like a little bit of an idiot, but, like, because I think, like, I don't know, in my head, I'm thinking, like, he was probably expecting, like, a bigger reaction from me, and I'm like, But, yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. Really excited to get out and play with some bands that we fit the bill with.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun night, man, for sure. So grab some tickets, Fubar's website or whatever you got to do. But yeah, come on out to that one. That's I don't know a ton of them, but it is cool to see a lot of those bands coming back around. There's there's a lot of opportunities like that, and it's like I don't know, as a fan, I have a great time going to shows as a fan, but like imagine if something like where you're a fan of the band and then you get to share the stage with them that night, it's pretty surreal moment, kind of,
it's very surreal.
So that's gonna be cool. Well, I said Jimmy is doing that acoustic show, and we did do a little live jam here. I'll give everybody a little taste of what you sound like acoustic, because does this something you guys do much of, or?
Eric and I recently just started really working on it, because we've also got this Sunday, was it the 29th?
Yeah.
We're playing in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, at Fock Fest. It's a festival down there. It's day 5 of the festival, and we had gotten the invitation to come and do it, and I was back home at the time for a visit, and I wasn't able to get a hold of everybody right then and there, and the guy kind of needed an answer, I guess, and so I was like, well, hey man, I said, if you're not opposed to it, like, our lead guitarist and I will come down and do an acoustic show, because I knew that we could do it. I mean, like I said, I wrote all these songs on acoustic.
It's something that we've been talking about for a while. Mm-hmm. We want to do more of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Like, I love that kind of, I obviously grew up on the Unplugged and stuff, and the, Alice in Chains Unplugged is still one of my all-time favorite records. Like that,
absolutely.
That set was just awesome. But all that, there was a bunch of great, all those bands did a lot of those Unplugged kind of sets, and I just, I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. I love the rawness of it, and the fact that you can focus on the vocals more, and all that. You can hear the lyrics in the songs, and not that you can't otherwise, but just it allows you to focus on it. You don't get distracted by the big guitar solos or whatever it is and different stuff. So
it allows the emotion.
Sure,
for sure. And I've always really admired when you can hear a heavy rock band just strip it down to an acoustic set and
then it's
kill
all
it.
about the songs.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just adds a whole nother perspective to everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, you did do a live jam. Let's talk about Until the End. This one's doesn't appear on the demo. I guess this is a more newer song.
Yeah, this song actually, out of all our songs, besides Set Me on Fire was the first one out of all these songs that got written. And Until the End was probably the second or third. I'm pretty sure it was the second. And
it's enough for 5 of them.
Yeah. the stars. A dead stop came to the car. That's how I earned these scars. And the cords of the grave wrapped around me, begging me to join them in that toil of pushing up daisies. But someone somewhere out there had been praying for me. Thank God I'm still alive. From that day, my life changed, and it has never been the same. Through heartbreak and years of pain, you have saved me from myself. I'm sorry for the things that I stole. Like give up control. I lived a life for years. Hit my knees and reached for the sky. The scales dropped off of my eyes. My vision clear. And now to some it might seem crazy, but I can trace the hand of God that has saved me. And I know that there's someone somewhere out there who knows just what I'm saying. Thank God we're still alive. And from that day, my life changed, and it has never been the same. Through heartbreak and years of pain, you have saved me from myself. I have 1 foot 6 feet deep in my grave, and the other one in hell. So while I breathe, before I leave this world, I have got a story to tell. Until the end, the better end. I'll be here to carry the torch for you. Originally, that song was, I think,
It was like an 8-minute song.
It was very long.
It was very, very long.
it was.
And it was still long when I got out here.
Like the first time Jimmy played it, he's like, yeah, just kind of jam along, get a feel for it, and like after like 2.5, 3 minutes. Like, okay, the song's over, and then like it would come to like an end of a section. Okay, still going. Nope, song's not over, and this kept happening over and over and over. I remember at one point like mouthing the words to him, "When is this freaking song done, dude? Like, what are you doing?"
This song got nicknamed
The Beast. It's so long.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of parts to it too. It's we cut it down quite a bit, and I mean it's still a long.
It's
song,
still
but
Is that why it's called Until the End? Just like
Just gotta wait for it.
yeah, wait till the end.
no, that was kind of an unintentional pun, I guess. But no, that song, I actually almost gave up on that song a couple different times. I think I rewrote the lyrics for it like 3 times. Like, originally that song was going to be about deja vu. And then, like, I had, like, the whole thing written. And I remember, like, while I was writing it, I would like, in between writing stuff, like, I'd get super excited because, like, it was finally falling into place, and then I'd leave my apartment and go do something for a while, and I'd come back and I'd sit down and start playing. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound right. Like, it just sounds cheesy or whatever. And so, like, and finally, I don't know how it happened. I ended up completely changing the subject. The song is actually about a car accident that Eric and I was in when we were 19 years old, and was actually the reason that I ended up moving out here to the Midwest, and like it just completely changed the whole course of my life. And
Stupid deer.
no, actually it was a mountainside.
It was a 1-lane bridge and a bank.
Yeah, it was an all-around bad deal, dude. But a lot of people perceived that as like a bad thing, but to be completely honest with you, man, like it's probably the best thing that could have happened for me at that time in my life. It, like I said, it completely changed the course of my life. If I'd have stayed back there, dude, like no doubt I would either be dead or in jail. And I know most people, like a lot of people exaggerate and say those things, but I mean, like that's the long and short of it,
Yeah.
And in the grand scheme of things, like we would not be here. Eric wouldn't be out here right now. This band wouldn't exist right now if that had never happened. So
Yeah, it's pretty heavy though. I mean, we can like isolate a single moment in history that changed everything, and like but yeah, you're here today to share your stories and hopefully make an impact on others. Especially with your sobriety now and everything else. So that's awesome, man. We like I said, we do have the demo, and that's also available out for on SoundCloud. And we wanted to share a little version, a little more electric version, the full band effect. And this Cher Set Me on Fire, since you mentioned that. Like, there's another one you guys want to share? Anything around Set Me on Fire?
That was almost a band name.
yeah.
Because that was the first song you ever came to me with. Like, you actually had, like, the first time we ever jammed, like, 4 or 5 years ago. Like, in hindsight, you had, one of those songs was, like, remnants of that song a little bit.
I don't know if I remember.
It was a lot heavier.
Yeah.
But
I think it was probably the chorus riff, because I had that chorus riff.
that's probably what I'm
quite a
thinking of,
long
yeah.
time.
But, yeah, that was the first song that
I'm so sick of running in circles. I scream until my face turns as purple as the blood in my veins. I'm tired and I
you know, like when the band, I guess, started, it was just me and Jimmy jamming at my church for a few months. Mm-hmm. And that was the first song ever. And I mean, that one holds a special place in my heart just because it was the first one. But
I mean, as the four of us, that's the first song we all learned.
yeah,
That's the first song you learned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Jim was like, "Yeah, we can name it the band," and I was trying to hint to him like, you shouldn't name a song after your band. Like that's just kind of toolish, I guess.
Unless you're bad company, so.
Yeah. Unless you're bad company.
Yeah.
And it was one of you two at practice just one time just goes, we shouldn't have a band and a song named the same name.
Right.
We just shouldn't do it.
But yeah, that song, man, it definitely holds a real heavy place in my heart. That song, actually, on the lighter side of things, that song, the name for that song, I remember it was probably like 7 or 8 years ago. When I was living over in Calhoun County, Illinois, and I was at this Baptist church, and I was flipping through this hymnal, and it was like the last hymn in the book, and I don't know if it was called, I think it was called Set My Soul on Fire, and I was like, set me on fire. I'm like, dude, that would be like a super badass like metal song, man. I'm gonna tuck that in my back pocket and use it for something someday. So fast forward, however many years into my life, and dude, it was that song really just came out of I was newly clean and sober at that time, and like really, dude, like everything that was my life at that point in time was falling apart, and it was like, the relationship that I had been in for the past 3 years was falling apart, and we had actually, we were engaged, and it was hell for me, man. And I was like, dude, I'm like finally doing things right in my life, and like all this bad stuff keeps happening, and so it was like, that's where a lot of the fuel for that song came from, and that was, I remember at that point in time, writing that song was the only thing that I had to really hold on to my sanity at that point in time. And I was like, once I finally got it written, I would sit there, dude, I played that song over and over and over, and I'm like, dude, my neighbors are probably completely sick of me right now. But yeah, and it evolved a lot over time. I have a really good buddy named Brett Lamar, who plays for a band called Lead Sled over in the Jerseyville area, and he actually made some suggestions, mainly the ending of that song. He's like, you know what, dude, like it would be like really awesome, like at the end of it, if like when you listen to the song, you hear the end of the song. To me, it's the highlight of the song, really, because it's like that last punch in the gut. And then, like, when I let him hear the demo, he's like, "That's my shit. That's my shit." So
I can picture Brett doing that.
But yeah, man. So definitely holds a special place in my heart, as well as the rest of the guys. So.
Yeah. You were saying, Eric, that you recorded this stuff for everybody? For the band?
Yeah, we recorded the drums at Jimmy's church, and the rest I have a little 10 by 8, bedroom that we recorded the rest of everything. And the vocals, the guitar, the bass.
Nice.
But yeah, we're really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, man. That stuff, I mean, I don't know, like, blows my mind when I hear stories like that, because like I said, it sounds great and to hear that you recorded it in your bedroom, like is like I said, just crazy to me, because like just that we have the technology now to do all this like in home and do it at a reasonable cost and stuff, and get a quality product. So
well, I mean, I'm sure that I keep stuttering. But I mean, like, as far as drums goes for those first couple songs, like, we could have easily just like done like MIDI drums, but like the acoustics in Jimmy's church are beautiful.
The natural reverb.
Yeah, they're natural. Yeah, it's just because we couldn't decide between my church or his church, because like my church was built like back in like the 1850s, I believe, so it's a very old.
A lot of hard services.
But I mean something. Yeah, we ultimately went with Jimmy's church, but
that actually happened out of coincidence too, because there was something going on at your church, and so we decided.
My church was getting painted. Yeah. It was getting remodeled, so we couldn't do it. Yeah, so we had to do it to your church. That's what it was.
Yeah. Which was perfect, because like after we thought about it, like with all the air in his church, like it's the acoustics, you know, it was like, you know,
they're actually a little bit better in your church.
Yeah,
because there's not so much air.
Yeah. The thing about recording is, you know, especially when it comes to drums, like if you have too much reverb in the recording, you can't take that out. You can always add into it, but you can't take it out.
That sounds farty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked out perfect, man, and it was a great drum sound, even just like the raw drum sound before any of the, you know, editing or anything got done to it.
Yeah, and you can do a bedroom recording, but drums is one of those instruments that if you do it in a bedroom, it'll sound like it was done in a bedroom. It'll sound boxy and small. So it's good to get the drums in a big space.
Seth's little brother is required to come to every one of my recording sessions for this band.
Yeah, I brought my little brother Wesley that day we recorded Cody's drums, and he'd never seen a drummer play live before, so Cody's like Neil Peart in his eyes. It's all about Cody now. Yeah. But hey, shout out to Wesley.
Yeah,
thank you, Wesley.
Number one fan.
There he was.
He's like, dude, give me a bump.
Bump my fist.
Dude, pound me.
He hasn't washed a hand since. He's gonna make it out to our last show, but he had something going on, so Cody's looking forward to that.
He just graduated, didn't he?
Yeah.
What's he went to school for?
Astrophysics.
Stay in school, Wesley.
Yes.
Don't be like us.
Don't be a fool. Stay in school.
Well, you guys, like I said, you have a couple of dates coming up, August 8th and August 16th at Fubar, and then, but you can get involved with you guys on Facebook for more upcoming dates and information. Yep. You said you do also have a YouTube channel. Do we have any?
We do.
Yep.
Some videos up
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah.
What we got some. I did see what
we have. The whole first show is documented on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we wanted to upload that whole show one song at a time, just to kind of like see where we came from. Mm-hmm. You know, milestone moments. So that whole show is available on there. We have other. We have some bedroom recordings of us recording, and we have some footage of our last show that we did last week up there right now. But most of this stuff is on Facebook too right now, but you have to make sure you subscribe on YouTube for a lot of other content and footage. We'll probably upload footage from most of our shows on there.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you subscribe on there, you can see what we're doing.
And we have a lot of plans for future videos, like acoustic videos, solo videos for Eric's stuff, and just, you know, different things, different ideas to get stuff out there for people.
Definitely
see a little bit more about who we are. So.
Yeah. You guys looking to put together a full length, or is that something in the works?
Yes.
Or official EP or anything? Or?
We were actually talking about not doing, like, we have 12 songs so far in the set. Like 2 of them kind of need solidified before we can do them live, but we were even talking about, you know, holding back on 2 of them and just doing 10 on the full length, and then and I've even got 5 other songs sitting on the back burner, and then
And all of those are the bits that got cut from the song called The Beast. He just made 5 more songs.
Right.
Yeah, there was enough
song.
material for another half album, maybe even an EP. But yeah, we're this coming Saturday we're gonna be tracking some more drums and just we all work day jobs and obviously Cody's pretty busy being in our outlines as well, and so like.
You guys all work day jobs. I work shift work.
Yeah.
That's what screws us out of rehearsal a lot of times.
Yeah, but we're just trying to do things as we go. We're doing it on our own right now, and we're really hoping. I'm really hoping that maybe by the late end of this year, early into next year, we will have something available. It just really depends on how smoothly things go with schedules and everything. Sure. So, but yeah, we are definitely shooting to have a full length available very soon. So, as soon as possible. Anyway.
Yeah, man. Well, let's share one more on there. We also played Never Again, live acoustic today.
The Nickelback song?
Yep.
Dad rock.
Anything around Never Again?
Never Again, which is, like I was saying earlier, it's probably the heaviest song in our set, but it also translates very good to acoustic, which really is kind of odd and surprising. But as far as
truth and it set me free, and I feel you clawing at my mind. I won't let you in this time. I will stand my ground. Tear me
like the content of that song, I really kind of wrote it as like an introspective kind of like, I'm my own worst enemy. I always have been. And like, to me, it's kind of an ode to leaving the person that I had been for so long, and the parts of me that are no longer useful to me, the old, putting the old man to death, so to speak. It's really personally to me what that song's about. I try to write all of these songs from a standpoint to where it can be interpreted by anybody and applied to their perspective, in any way that they interpret it, but a lot of them really have specific meanings to me, whereas somebody else might take something completely different away from it and might take it as like a goodbye song to an ex or whatever, or somebody that was poisonous to their life.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff when it's just vague enough where you can apply it to your own stories and your own life and stuff, whatever it is you're fighting with and different stuff. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Very cool. That somebody said, Cody said Nickelback, but I was wondering, like, I was listening, like, and you guys, I mean, not that you guys sound like Nickelback, but just like, I like to go and listening to your sound and trying to figure out like influences and stuff, or like kind of where, and like, I feel like there's some of the stuff kind of.
It's all over the map.
Yeah.
Frankenstein. Yeah.
I forget the track now. The name. I'm terrible with names, like, cause I usually just like listen to them and not really like paying attention to the title. Maybe, but I remember hearing one and I kind of got like a Chevelle feeling in there. I don't know if that was if that's in the vein of some of you guys, or.
I'm a huge Chevelle fan.
I like Chevelle, yeah.
But I like. There's definitely a little bit more of that. I said Alice in Chains earlier, and I feel like there's you guys.
I bring that.
There's more of that kind of that 90s grunge in there, a little bit to your sound. And
the thing is, Jimmy and I are so different in our guitar styles, but it meshes really well together.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely the '90s, grungy alternative kind of player, and he's the heavier, more modern rock style. But it really fits well together.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I agree. What you guys are doing, it works. Like, and that's right up my alley with what a lot of my taste. Because again, I grew up on a lot of that stuff. So it's and it's kind of I don't know, like, I feel like it's something, it's like new again though, like, it's like, there's a lot of bands kind of bringing the sound back again, and which is kind of fun because there's so many different versions of rock and all this stuff, but like, it's like, a lot of people are kind of played out with a lot of the stuff that we're, more modern, and like that 90s rock and 2000s and stuff, that a lot of that feeling coming back, and like, people are really digging it again, so.
And like grunge, man, to me, grunge music was the first music for me that was mine, that like somebody else didn't really turn me on to, or I didn't listen to it because my parents listened to it. Like, Alice in Chains has always been, like, ever since I was a little kid, has been, a band that I loved. I can remember as a little kid, my mom dated a dude that he had 2 CDs in his car. He had Nirvana, Nevermind, and Stone Temple Pilots Core. And, and so that was like, to me, I think that's really where like the grunge influence started with me, and then it just kind of grew from there. But like anything 90s alternative grunge, like I've always loved. And then like Eric was saying with our styles, like he's as a player, he's in that era, whereas like going back to what I was saying earlier with, when Cody and I first started playing, like I always played like super heavy stuff, and like I love playing super heavy stuff, and I always have, always will. It's fun, but like I remember when we first started jamming on these songs, because I wrote these songs to be the style that they are for a reason. And Cody was like, this is a lot different than what we were doing before, and I was like, well, man, like
It's very different.
yeah. The stuff that we were doing before was like August Burns Red, Texas in July, like that type of rock music.
R.I.P. to Texas in July, by the way.
Yeah, he's the one that we started listening to those guys.
Well, there's not to say you guys couldn't still do something. I mean,
Let's get heavy.
I like when a band like kind of catches me off guard sometimes. Like, I feel like
Oh, we got some stuff.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. We definitely do.
Yeah, we got some
Different
stuff
from
in
the
the
works,
yeah.
But I just feel like some bands kind of get boxed in where like, they all have to sort of kind of fall in this range. It's like,
Yeah, we don't do that.
right.
DC.
But I love when a band can like play their hardest song and then go right into their softest song, and like, and locally one of my favorites to do it was Fivefold. Like they could get you moshing and then make you cry in the next song, and it's like, and like I loved what they were able to do with that. Like, and that's the kind of stuff like I like when a band has that sort of range and so.
Well, and it's like I told Cody too. Like, okay, so the style of like Set Me on Fire, for instance, like has that straightforward grunge 90s alternative sound. And so like when all this started and these songs started coming out, I've never really been a singer before. Like I screamed for a band back on the East Coast before I moved out here, but other than that, like I was never really a singer, let alone playing and singing at the same time. But like, so these songs kind of, as we progressed, like I was able to get a little bit more technical and heavier with what I was playing and being able to sing at the same time. So I was learning how to do all this. And so like, there's been numerous times where Cody was like, we should write some heavier stuff. And so like some of the newer stuff actually does have, some of those metal influences. Because I still like, if you get in my car 90% of the time, I'm listening to metal. So like, and I've always loved heavy music, and like I said, I always loved playing. And it's slowly starting to become part of our sound, but it's exciting to me because everything's starting to get infused together, and to me, it's kind of different. Like,
Except those little jams that me and Seth do between songs.
yeah.
Those are a lot of fun.
I like to get jazzy sometimes.
I saw them like 3 times recently, and they just make me laugh every time. But my friend's Old Souls Revival, and they're kind of this. I guess indie rock would be the most generic label to put them under, but they do everything. I mean, there's all kinds of different sounds coming through what they do. But they played the birthday show they had a little bit ago, and they know just about every song. They'll just like start messing with each other just to make each other laugh. And like one of them like went into playing "Smooth" from Rob Thomas. And they started so, and then like Neil's like, I don't know this song, but all right, here we go, we try it. And like so they played enough of it till he started like making up the words to trying to come up with all the words.
All right, I'll entertain this.
But anyways, it's fun I like seeing that kind of stuff though, like when you guys are, having fun with each other on stage too, so just having a good time with it.
Right on.
Well again, come out to these shows, click subscribe on YouTube, follow these guys on Facebook. More tunes coming soon. Until then, you can are those available for download? The demo?
Or if you have a SoundCloud account,
Yeah.
you can download them for free.
Nice. Well, there you go.
That new Beartooth song's also on SoundCloud too. Check that out.
Plug. And it shouldn't be too here before too long. We're gonna join the rest of the modern world, I guess, and do the Spotify and iTunes things.
Hey man, I'm even on Spotify now, so
Yeah.
I was listening to it on the way here.
There
I was
you go.
listening to the second Pure October episode about the melanin.
that was a pretty silly one.
That shit cracks me up every time, dude.
Those boys are pretty silly. We had a good time recording that one. Shout out to Pure October.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are my boys.
Spencer Peck, actually, their bass player, did our very first photo shoot, and
Nice.
he's a great dude, man. It was.
I love Pure October.
Not only was he professional, man, but it was also fun to work with him. He
Yeah.
kept the mood light and everything, which is our style. So
Yep, he's got skills.
He's got his own little thing running now. Is it Pekka Film?
Film.
Yeah, plug. Thanks, dude.
And Tom's the man, and Alex has too much melanin. He said it first, not me. He's expired milk.
Alright.
They'll get it.
Alright, well, I thank you guys for taking some time out to hang.
Yeah, thanks you,
I
man.
know,
Yeah,
man.
thanks.
We
Yeah, it's
really
been a real good
appreciate
time.
you having us.
And hopefully we'll do another one when that record's ready to go or something, man. We'll debut some new tunes or whatever I can do to help. But I look forward to doing another one of these.
Awesome.
Alright, thanks guys.
Thanks, Shane.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.